This is Alma, a young adult, non-committal, recently turned vegetarian. Can't spend a day without leaving the house, otherwise feels like she just wasted it, and is living in a state of crisis since she turned 25. She struggles with a variety of anxiety-inducing fears and unresolved issues, as one does, one of which being the annoying but deeply human yearn for human connection, meaning she feels desperately lonely.
Oh, loinem. Oh, clay ba?
The cool, crisp autumn had arrived, and roasted chestnuts and warm drinks were the perfect excuses to leave the house today. It was Roast Chestnuts Day. Every year, here in Portugal, we celebrate something similar, called Magusto. This whole thing is inspired by Portugal. The house, Alma, the location. I thought it would be only fitting to add this holiday. Alma didn't have many friends growing up, and she kept more to herself. However, she was not shy and definitely felt a pull to connect with people. She wanted that but was anxious. She still is. She was never anyone's best friend, got along with many people, but there was never anybody she was close to. She just moved to this house, and the other day she met her neighbor, Supriya. Hey Alma, I thought I could celebrate with you today for a little while. Do you mind? Alma's house was a little isolated, and that didn't bother her too much. But ever since she almost burned the house down trying to cook something, Supriya started to show up more frequently to check up on her. Their relationship consisted of small talks over cups of coffee. And although small talks were not something Alma particularly liked, having Supriya around gave her a comforting feeling.
No me bella foya. Aspa, wabris.
Oh, he's calling. Let's go to the flea market and see if we can find some rare treasures, and by that, I mean awesome junk. His name was Paolo. They met at one of the rare nights when Alma decided to leave the house to go to the local bar, Salty Paws. The frizzy, fruity drink, the salty wind, and the starry sky made Alma's heart beat a little bit faster that night. Alma managed to get some deals at the flea market. She bought a clump of clay and a lamp, both with 25% off. Not bad. She was in a good mood, and that prompted her to do something she never did before. So she picked up her phone and decided to invite some people to celebrate and light a bonfire near the lighthouse. The air smelled sweet and spicy, and at the park entrance was a stall serving comforting drinks and delicious pastries. Alma got an apple spice nog, the perfect drink for a day like this. And then she sat down, looking out at the changing colors and feeling the cool air on her face. Supriya, her husband Justin, Paul and Morgana, a girl Alma briefly met when doing groceries and got along with, sat by the fire, listening to its crackling, telling stories and sharing memories. Oh, I just remembered something. One time we were taking a walk not far from here with our dogs, and Justin falls face first in a puddle. Why? Why you? I was so embarrassed. I actually had my first kiss here in the lighthouse. It was romantic. You are so lucky. Mine was awful. Most days are identical. Most days will be lost forever. Most days will not be remembered. But this day would, because of the spicy autumn air and the crackling fire, sure. But also, and most of all, because of the stories, the laughter, and feeling close and saying something and being heard. Sophie, why are the most meaningful moments always with people? People are the most unreliable. The afternoon light was golden in a way that only ever happens in the fall. Alma went for a walk near the sea and Paolo followed her. The waves and the last of the evening light, this would be the perfect. It was already night time. The cold salty wind chilled our bodies, so everybody pulled their jackets and comfy sweaters, and they added another log to the fire to keep them warm, and it was scary story time. There's an abandoned cemetery around here. It's not a conventional one because not just Sims are buried there, but also their pets. Some nights, people say, you could hear a loud and strange howl around this area. And some Sims say they saw an unusually large dog standing at the cemetery entrance, as if it was guarding it. It was getting late, so Priya and Justin went home, but Alma, Paolo, and Morgana stayed for a little while longer. Paolo needed an outfit change because it was getting cold, so I gave him this cute outfit. At one point, Paolo sat next to Alma, and they found themselves doing that thing that people do when they are in love. They looked at each other's eyes in silence, as if they could hear each other's thoughts. Except they couldn't. Neither one of them was in love. They just pretended that they were for a bit. It helps sometimes to create that illusion, to pretend for a bit we found one person who can truly see us and accepts us and loves us. But they both knew that it wasn't them. Back at home, Alma would soon go to bed. In just another minute or two, another day would end for her. But sitting alone by the fireplace, she asks herself, was she really pretending when she looked into his eyes? After all her eyes were saying was, well, she would never know his thoughts, but how she wished he would understand her, and how she wished she could understand him. And maybe at some level, they did. And that's why they were looking at each other's eyes in silence that night.